So I made the basketball team at Santa Cruz.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
How did that go?
It was fun. Learned a lot. We got our ass kicked most of the time. In that it was Division III, but we are not affiliated with the league. So we played tons of back then I think it was the CCAA, but it's the Humboldt, Sonoma, Chico. So we were kind of the whipping horse for all of those schools. And we were always on the road. So we played Humboldt at Humboldt, Stanislaus at Stanislaus, Chico at Chico. So we would go, we played Northridge. UC Irvine was a big win game for us. UC San Diego. And then we played a couple smaller Bible schools, Simpson Bible College, Bethany Bible College, I think maybe William Jessup. Yeah. Some of those schools that weren't NCAA, but NAIA. Yeah. And had some success with those schools, but we took our lumps more times than not. But to play at that level, at my sophomore year, I started getting some time and started a couple games, and I think I scored 8 against Chico, which was a high for me.
That's awesome.
I hit 2 threes, couple throws, snuck in a layup. But it was a good experience. I had a wonderful coach, especially my sophomore year, who I'm still in contact with. He actually has coached at many different levels. Another wonderful mentor. Coached at Santa Cruz, George Mason, some JC, went back to Salesian High School and kind of put them on the map, and they're now nationally ranked. Then went to Dominican, put them on the map, won that league for a bit, went to San Francisco State, was the head coach there for a bit. Wow. Then to Albany High, back to his community, where I don't know if you guys understand the full discrepancies of how programs are funded. Like he was telling me, I had no idea that he gets 4 scholarships a year. For every $1 that he raised, the girls program got 60 cents of it. And Stanislaus, or I can't remember, it might have been Bakersfield, 12 fulls. So like, how's that fair? Same league. I only get 4 fulls. You get 12 full. Everybody's on a full ride at your school. That? Like, I think it's the university and like Title IX and how stuff gets funded and like pretty crazy. So it's like, I'm an underdog every year at San Francisco State when I just can't compete with that. You know, I mean, he did, but it was hard. Yeah. So he went to be an underdog in his high school, local high school where his boys went through and kind of put them on the map and turn that program around. And so he'd come up to our tournament. Actually, he was up here this last year with his brother, and we went to the Milano and shared a bunch of stories about one time, and we would actually drive the school vans as players to the games, and we got out one night and we're doing stuff in the van we shouldn't have been doing and hit something and drove it back, and there were some dents in the school van and he got in trouble.
Dude, were you guys allowed to do that, or you just didn't tell anyone? Yeah. Don't you have to sign waivers?
We were legally driving it. Like, we went to Sonoma State and I drove the van because I knew how to get there, and we crashed on my godmother's at her house as the team. And,
that's awesome. Dude, those team trips are so much fun.
Yeah. And I think, growing up on the school buses, not unlike here, we had 3-hour, 4-hour bus rides to games, and, lots of stories there too. Yeah. Like, if I wasn't opening the gym, kids weren't playing. Like, for me growing up, it was us calling one another, swinging by the court and saying, hey, that's 2-on-2, let's play. Yeah. And I don't know that I played a lot of one-on-one, where we never called a foul on one another, and just one offender versus 2 defenders. because that's all that showed up that day. And so you're beating the crap out of one another and working on skills and how do you get creative and get a shot off and get stronger and, those kind of things. And I don't know that happens on the regular basis that, playing is not enough anymore to get to the next level. You got to put in the time on your own and your body. I didn't spend time in a weight room growing up and was able to play at the next level.
It's a huge one.
Now, if you're not putting time in the weight room, unless you're a freak, you're not getting there.
Yeah, that's very true. There's like a science to it now.
That's such a good point. Yeah, because growing up, when we played soccer, and we never had any wait time assigned to us. It was just out in the field and you kick the ball around and then then Thursday, next day, 2 times a week we practice and we have games on whatever days in between. But we never hit the weight room at all. And then you look at any professional, successful program at any bigger city and it's like they're hitting the weights once, twice, 3 times a week,
They're just ahead of the game, I think. Like for us, I remember growing up in high school, it was viewed as like, it'll make you stiff. It'll make you very slow, sluggish. It's not beneficial. But in reality, it's like injury prevention. It's like, it's good for you.
For sure.
And you don't really learn that until you're at the higher programs.
To think about how successful are players that have put in a little bit of extra time, that they're there to think about where you might have been with more mentoring and more coaching. If you were playing 4 days a week and you were conditioning on the days that you weren't playing and in the weight room, it's tricky in that there's not that many kids that are that into it. It's really hard to do by yourself.
Yeah.
To go grind that out every day. If you've got a weight room partner and you've got a running partner and you've got some of that stuff, it can help motivate you. Hey, I don't want to leave my buddy hanging today, so those kind of things. But it takes so much time and effort to get to that next level. And there's so many distractions and many of our kids are playing 2 and 3 sports.
Yeah. That's the thing that I think
is ASB and, there's so many pulls on them. And I think that breadth of experience is super valuable, but there's, a couple kids a year that want to get really good at one thing. And